Welcome to the meeting of the Licensing Committee being held on today, December the 8th. This meeting is being webcast with the exception of any business that the Council resolves to exclude the press and public from because of the likely disclosure of exempt information as defined by the Local Government Act 1972. Are there any apologies? I believe Mrs. Butterfield might not be attending.
It's
That's right.
Butterfield just come home from hospital today, Chair.
Right. Okay. Fine. So apologies to Mrs. Butterfield. No other apologies. No. Fine. Would anybody wish to declare an interest in today's business?
Chair.
Yeah, right. Leave that to the legal officer, please.
Right, good morning, members. In relation to declarations of interests, members will be aware of the requirements under the Council's Code of Conduct to declare any personal or prejudicial interest in respect of any business to be considered at today's meeting. Such interest should be declared now or as soon as the councillor affected becomes aware that they have a personal or indeed a prejudicial interest in today's business. All members declaring an interest are required to state clearly what the interest is and to advise whether it is a personal interest or a personal and indeed a prejudicial interest as defined in the Code of Conduct. Any member declaring a prejudicial interest is required to leave the meeting for the duration of the business and can take no part in the proceedings. Members with a personal interest only may take part in the debate and any vote. If a personal and prejudicial interest is declared today that has not previously been disclosed and recorded, the councillor concerned will be required to complete and sign a declaration of interest form, which is available from the committee support staff. Diolch. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. John. Item 3, are there any urgent matters?
Chair.
Yeah.
Could I declare an interest? Item 6 on the agenda this morning. I know Mr. Les Peake, so it is a personal and a prejudicial interest.
Thank you. Right. Thank you.
Chair, yeah, could I also know Mr. Les Peake?
Thank you, Barrett. Nobody else? Sorry.
Can you expand on that?
Both people.
Councillor Mellor.
Yeah, legal officer just asked, can you just expand on how you know him? Is it as a...
It's just a personal. I know him. If I go out for a drink, he goes to the same place that I go to.
Socially?
Yeah.
Would you say that's a personal interest?
Yeah, personal. Yeah.
Personal interest. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Right. Okay, in that case now, if there's no other declarations, are there any urgent matters? I haven't been given any. Anybody else got any? No. Item 4 then is to proceed to the minutes of the previous meeting, which you will find at page 7 in your pack. Just turn to mine, please. So it's the licensing committee that was held on the 15th of September, page 7, for information, items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Over the page to page 8 and on to page 9, where we have items 6 and 7. And over to page 10, and that completes the minutes. Happy that everything is true and correct there, please? Yes, that's
I'm happy to propose.
I second, Chair.
all in favour? No dissensions? No, thank you. We'll then go over the page to item 5, which is our forward work programme, which you'll find on pages 13 to 18. Mr. Mullins, are you taking that or no?
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah.
This is great. Hopefully everyone can hear me loud and clear. Good morning, everyone. So the purpose of this report is to advise members of the priorities of the licensing section and give an update of the licensing committee for the year 2022. The priorities of the licensing section reflect the duty placed upon the authority and the responsibilities of effective regulation, control and enforcement of licensees, together with a commitment to provide safer communities and the development of the economy. Fortunately, due to unforeseen priorities, the forward work programme approved by members at the previous meeting has to be amended and matters have been rescheduled for consideration. Members may recall at the last meeting in September, officers presented an updated work programme which was approved. Officers were scheduled to present a number of updated matters for your consideration to this meeting. However, due to a number of factors, such matters will be presented to you at future meetings. A revised forward work programme is at Appendix A for the whole year. Officers have taken this opportunity to provide members with an update on matters that should have been brought to this meeting as detailed below. So the first one is the review of the Hackney Carriage and private hire statement of licensing policy. Work has been ongoing to enable officers to publish a consultation document on a proposed statement of policy for the taxi trade in conjunction with some recommendations from the Department of Transport and some statutory standards put by the Welsh Government. The consultation document is in its final stages and isn't far short of being published, and we're working with the Council's Public Engagement Officer to get this done through the County Conversation Portal. Moving on to this, the review of the Statement of Principles for the Gambling Act. The review of the Gambling Act statements is taking place collectively with the North Wales Region authorities, and once the review has been completed, officers will be in a position to produce the proposed review to members in future meetings. Street trading policy. Members will recall that at the meeting in June this year, officers presented a draft street trading policy. At that meeting, members resolved to approve the policy for consultation and agreed to support the establishment of a subgroup to further consider the draft. Members also resolved that the subgroup should include the chair or the vice chair, along with a rep from each member area group. Unfortunately, due to the demands of members' time, the meeting with representatives that was originally planned had to be postponed, and the subgroup was now scheduled to meet in late November. Incidentally, that has taken place. In the meantime, preparations are ongoing with the Council's Public Engagement Officer to prepare the County Conversation Portal ready to use when we're in that position. The Statement of Licensing Policy for the Licensing Act. At the last meeting in September, members authorised officers to consult the revised statement of policy. Since that meeting, it has become apparent that the current version of the policy does not meet accessibility requirements and would need significant changes to bring it up to the acceptable standards. Officers have therefore considered options and believe it is an opportunity to look at using the template developed by all North Wales authorities. There are no significant differences to the contents of the policy when compared to that of the North Wales template, but more a case of appearance and format. Officers will therefore report back at a future meeting following the consultation. Review of fees and charges. Fees and charges for the administration of the taxi licensing process were last reviewed and updated in 2018. Whilst these fees should be regularly reviewed, this work was deferred as the timing coincided with the COVID pandemic. Additional work is ongoing to implement an online application system, which would significantly alter the application process. Further, officers have received requests for review of the Hackney Carriage tariff charges, which were also updated in 2018. Officers are therefore proposing to proceed with both reviews alongside each other and consult with current licensees on those fees, charges and tariff and report back to the licensing committee probably at its March meeting. The recommendations are members note the contents of the report and it is further recommended that members consider and approve the forward work programme detailed in Appendix 1 for 2022.
Thank you. Legal officers just raised an issue of how many people we've got here. We are quorus, aren't we? Yeah. Thank you. Sorry about that. Please carry on.
Thank you, Chair. That concludes the report, and as Appendix 1 is there for your consideration.
Right. So you've heard a summary from Mr. Millington. Does anybody want to raise any queries about the forward work programme or the work that's going forward onto it? No. Okay, so we accept the forward. Yep.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. It probably is in the diary, but at this date, the 2nd of March, to look at these reports, quite a bit of work involved in compiling all that, and for members of the Licence Committee to digest it all. Could I ask Mr. Millington, who's sitting next to me here in the chamber in Ruthin, if someone could turn the heat down, please? It's boiling in here this morning. But aside that, 2nd of March is the date on the forward work programme to look at these reports. Will you consider having a pre-meeting for the Licensing Committee to run through the reports, to perhaps have a better appreciation before we actually come to the official meeting on the 2nd of March, when any points can be raised in the formal arena?
Is there a view on that, Mr. Millington?
Happy to work with the members on how they see fit. The policies will be reviewed as we go along, and happy to take any comments as we go along.
Might there be a possibility that one or some of these might not be ready on the 2nd? Or you?
There's always a possibility, but we're working towards that expectation.
So there's been a suggestion from the Vice Chairman of the committee that maybe if there's going to be a very heavy work detail here, that we might benefit from a pre-meet. Is there a view about that? Sorry, yes.
Chair, Mervyn Parry here.
Carry on, Mervyn.
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm my videos. Yeah, it's just a case of, I think it's quite a good effort. It's a lot of work there. It's just that what we don't want to do is duplicate the meeting, really. If we've got a lot of work to do in one meeting and then having to go through it all again on another day, only because we're all busy. But maybe Brian and Ian Millington can have a look at it nearer the time and see if they think it justifies a pre-meeting.
That might be a very sensible suggestion. Anybody else wish to speak?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I was part of the street trading policy review, part of the subgroup. Can we have more details what happened in that meeting from Ian, please? Because I know that we're progressing quickly in January. Can we have further information from him, please?
Anything we can expand on, Ian, with the street trading subgroup?
Yeah, thank you, Errol. The subgroup met, and we've drafted a policy. There's some things that we need to consider, and we've asked the representatives to go back to the town councils and their member area groups to pose some questions there to debate and decide really on where street trading should take place and what that might consider. So I think it's pretty much in its early stages now. I think there's more work probably than what we thought there was going to be to get that policy to completion. But we're hopeful that with this focus group that we can get that sorted and resolved. So matters that we need to consider are primarily in relation to where trading should take place, if at all, in those town areas, and town councils and member area groups are more closer to the ground to bring those proposals to us.
Wasn't a template supposed to be provided for every town council and MAG areas, a template for them?
You're quite right. There is a template. We've got a meeting, I think it's tomorrow, and before I was responding to members on that with that template, we as officers were looking at which ones might be more appropriate to move forward on that. So it is in hand. I am due to message that group. The email's drafted and just waiting on the policy document.
So I thought quite a good suggestion, I think, came from Mervyn Parry, that maybe about a week before the meeting, if the Vice Chairman and myself could have an update with Ian Millington as to where we're up to bring it to bringing it to committee. And if we think there's scope for a pre-meet, then we could arrange one. Would that meet the requirement?
I'm happy to go with that, Chair. It sounds a very good suggestion.
Me,
I'm happy.
yeah, me too, Chair.
Where I was coming from was because it's the last meeting in this council, not to have any loose ends that we end up passing it over to a new council, and certainly in respect of the street trading policy, we could really do with having that done and dusted and shuttered up. So words of wisdom from Councillor Mervyn Parry there. So I will support that entirely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Minister, can you accommodate that you run through the, in other words, you have a little bit of a pre-meet with ourselves here?
Yeah, I'll be in touch in the new year.
Yeah, okay. Members happy about that? Good. Is there anything else on the forward work programme? Right, thank you very much. Back to
Note the forward planner.
yeah.
So yeah, it is recommended that members note the contents of the report, and it's further recommended that members consider and approve the revised forward work programme. So technically, they need to approve.
So would you approve that recommendation that we've?
I'm happy to approve, Chair.
Yeah, thank you. And that's
And me, yeah, seconded, yeah.
Any dissension? No, that's carried. Thank you very much. Right, we'll now go to item 6. This is a part 2 item, so I'll have to move that we exclude the press and public. Could somebody move and second that, please?
Move, Chair.
Yeah, thank you.
Did.
So part 2. And declaring an interest, Vice Chairman is leaving the meeting. Right, thank you.